Welcome back. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is expected to arrive in the U.S. in just a few hours. He and his wife left Tel Aviv for Washington earlier today. Mr. Netanyahu is set to address the U.S. Congress on Tuesday. He's expected to speak out against the U.S. administration's efforts to reach a deal with Iran on its nuclear program. And the upcoming speech has led to some angry back and forth between Israel and the White House. But as CNN's Erin McPike reports, both sides now seem to be moving towards a more placid tone.
As Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu heads to the United States for a controversial visit, there are signs he may be trying to tone down the angry rhetoric between him and the Obama administration. During a visit to the Western Wall before leaving, he said he actually respects President Obama. And in a statement, he said, quote, "I believe in the strength of the relationship between Israel and the U.S. and in their strength to overcome differences of opinion, those that have been and those that will yet be." And from the White House, a similar sentiment the day before.
Even the Prime Minister himself has said that the level of security cooperation between the Netanyahu administration and the Obama administration is unprecedented.
Mr. Netanyahu sparked a controversy when he and House Speaker John Boehner went around the White House and arranged a visit and speech on Capitol Hill without consulting anyone in the State Department or the administration in an open effort to derail U.S.-led nuclear negotiations with Iran. That move was seen as a breach of etiquette and an open sign of the deteriorating relationship with America's closest ally in the Middle East. The Tuesday speech has angered Democrats who accuse Netanyahu of driving a wedge into U.S. foreign policy.
To have the Prime Minister to contradict exactly what the President in very sensitive negotiations is trying to do, and that's trying to guarantee that Iran does not have nuclear weapons.
Illinois Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky says she, along with other Democrats, will boycott the speech.
The most prevalent sentiment is that they do resent the fact that John Boehner, without consulting with the White House and without talking to Nancy Pelosi, has turned this most prestigious venue in the entire world into a political setting.
The Israeli leader will also speak to a conference hosted by the American pro-Israel group AIPAC on Monday morning, just before U.S. Ambassador to the UN Samantha Power offers her remarks. The two speeches may highlight the clash between the U.S. and Israel as they haggle over how to approach nuclear negotiations with Iran. However, some foreign policy watchers say the U.S.-Israeli relationship is too important to let wither.
The relationship itself will recover from this because, as I mentioned earlier, unlike Lehman Brothers, this one really is too big to fail.
Erin McPike, CNN, the White House.
And before boarding his plane, Mr. Netanyahu said he felt he was coming to the U.S. as, in his words, as a messenger of all Israel's citizens. Now, for more on this, CNN's Oren Leibermann joins us now from Jerusalem. And Oren, with 2 weeks to go to the Israeli election, how do Israelis view this trip, one that was not endorsed by the U.S. president nor the White House?
Well, Linda, that statement that he made, that he's a messenger of all of the Israeli people, wasn't taken quite so well by half the people here. The right agrees with him. Netanyahu's Likud party and some of the other parties on the right see this as a vital opportunity, a crucial opportunity to warn the White House, to warn Europe and the rest of the world about the threat that a nuclear Iran poses not only to the security of Israel, but also to stability in the Middle East. Then you have the other side, the left, which would be the Zionist camp like Isaac Herzog and Tzipi Livni. They see this as exactly the opposite. They see Netanyahu here as just coming to Washington to get a little publicity before the elections in 2 weeks. And they are very close elections to the point where a few votes either way could swing the election, decide which party wins the most seats, and could decide the next prime minister. So there is very much a split here.
Just how close is it? What are the polls showing at the moment?
So one of the most recent polls showed that the two major parties, which is the two parties that have the most likely chance of winning the most seats and then having the opportunity to form a coalition government, which is Netanyahu's Likud party and then the Zionist camp, they're neck and neck at 24 seats apiece out of a total of 120. Over the last few weeks, we've seen that go back and forth just a little bit. One party will have 23, the other 25. It'll go back and forth. So this is very close, which shows you how important Netanyahu's speech could be in the political arena here, because it won't take swinging that many votes to swing the election, to give one of those two parties most seats in the Knesset and the opportunity to form a coalition government.
Okay, Oren Leibermann in Jerusalem, thank you very much.